Over in Oregon, the eastern part of the state is breaking away. Specifically, 11 counties in eastern Oregon have just voted to secede from the state, to leave Oregon and to instead join the state of Idaho.
Unite us. Unite the clans.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Benny. You know, states with massive population centers are a very funny thing because those small areas with densely packed people can actually make a great state, a beautiful state, a peaceful state into a hellscape. Just ask Illinois, for instance, with Chicago, or ask anyone from upstate New York about what they think of Manhattan, and you'll find out. Well, now one state which has a problem with a rat, homeless, crime-infested single city that makes the entire state a putrid hellscape, Oregon, is going to do something about it. They want to create something called Greater Idaho. A ton of Oregon counties wish to create the Greater Idaho bill and change the Oregon border. This is now past the Idaho State House. This is happening, ladies and gentlemen. Check this out. House members in the Idaho legislature voted for the Greater Idaho movement this week. The approval means the Idaho representatives want to begin talks about relocating Oregon-Idaho borders, which is something that many people in eastern Oregon have been wanting for quite a long time. The Greater Idaho movement proposed that nearly everything east of the Cascades, except Bend, become part of Idaho. Currently, there are 11 Oregon counties supporting the move. So this has gotten real. Why would these people want to move to Idaho? Well, because Idaho is run by sane people, presumably, and Oregon's run by insane people who are suicidal and deadly. Oregon is a terrible place to live. This is what the map would look like with Greater Idaho. 11 Oregon counties have directed their local officials to explore seceding from Oregon and joining Idaho. Check it out. So this would be like sort of the new boundaries here for Idaho. Idaho's a very pretty place. Very nice place. Oregon, you can see like sort of the map of Oregon here. You have Portland up here, which is your problem. You have some like sort of liberal places along the coast here. I've been to Oregon a couple times. Nice. Except for Portland, which is a hellscape. And then all of this is like national forests, happy little small towns, beautiful little places where people live in peace and happiness with their Second Amendment, kind of like Idaho. So this is gaining steam. Local news is exploring what could actually happen constitutionally if this were to be passed. Watch.
Believes that if you've lived in Oregon for any amount of time, you can see the east side of the state can be quite different than the West.
For a very long time, there's been this urban-rural divide, and people on the east side of the state have felt like their state-level government has not heard them, has not understood their way of life, their values, their problems.
And that's why, a couple years back, a group of people began discussing a new idea.
We started going county by county in eastern Oregon and asking voters directly, do you want your elected leaders to look into moving the border?
McCaw, a spokesperson for the Greater Idaho movement, says their plan was originally met with skepticism.
When we started this 2 years ago, I would get that a lot, like, well, this will never happen. Why are you wasting your time?
But he says that sentiment is changing. Several eastern Oregon counties voted to discuss moving the border, and now resolutions are up for a vote in both the Oregon and Idaho legislatures.
Nice.
In Idaho Wednesday, the House approved the measure following testimony this week.
We want to see the kind of law that reflects faith, family, moral virtue, self-reliance, hard work. The things that Idaho is based on.
Why wouldn't we at least want to have a conversation about increasing the size of our state?
Not everyone was in favor, as expressed by the House Minority Leader.
Have got to learn to get along better and work together better. The answer cannot be to just start carving up the country and redrawing lines that have been in place for a century or more just so that we can only be surrounded by people that perfectly agree with us.
The vote itself doesn't change the border. full approval by both chambers in both states simply opens the door for serious conversation between the two states about moving the border.
I think people in the metropolitan areas tend to look at it in the paper and get a good chuckle out of it. But the fact of the matter is, people in Eastern Oregon are dead serious.
Former candidate for governor Betsy Johnson is now a KGW political analyst. She says while it's far from a done deal, the discussion of Greater Idaho raises real questions and concerns.
Quit treating the symptoms, get at the root problem, and try to figure out why would a portion of Oregon want to leave here? What has made it so bad that they are prepared to go through the administrative and expense and political hassle of trying to separate a piece of Oregon and move it into Idaho?
Now, in addition to the many technical things that would need sorting out should something progress further down the line, Johnson tells me losing a chunk of the state to neighboring Idaho could have a chilling effect on economic development in Oregon and, in her words, be a national embarrassment with so many dissatisfied here. To be clear, even if we get to the point where both state legislatures agree on moving the border, Congress must also approve it.
Nice. Okay, well, Republicans control Congress, so that's awesome. Why would people in Portland want to leave? Well, I went there. It's a complete shithole. Portland is such a absolute wretched rat hole. Check out some of these recent headlines about what Portland is doing to this fine state of patriots in Oregon. Portland records 93rd homicide, 2022. New all-time records for homicides. Okay, that's not good. Portland crime stats show dramatic rise in violent crime. Portland is falling through the cracks, literally falling to pieces. According to the Portland Crime Statistics Report, we're on track to see a dramatic rise in crime. Crime statistics may go up. According to the Portland's police report, in May, there have been at least 37 homicides this year. Continuing, substance fuel record homeless deaths in Oregon. Never something that you want to see. Neighbors say homeless moving into vacant homes in Portland. This is a huge problem, obviously. There were homeless everywhere in Portland. Just open and filthy drug usage. Portland faces lawsuit from disabled residents over taxpayer-funded homeless tent crisis. Check this out. This is wild. During the discovery phase of the lawsuit, DiLorenzo, who is a disabled John DiLorenzo, represents the plaintiffs of the American with Disabilities Act lawsuit in Portland. So this is the lawyer, says he learned that the county that has Portland in it, Joint Office of Homeless Services, paid $2 million for 22,000 new tents and 70,000 tarps. So they're giving out tents and tarps to homeless people. It also revealed that this service had virtually no accounting for who eventually received the tents or whether it was set up. Mayor Ted Wheeler spokesperson Cody Bowman said the cost is justified. We have 800 self-sited sanctuary campsites. 800 campsites. Got it. So you have 800 homeless campsites. Do you even have 800 private residences in Portland? So yeah, people, don't let this rot go to the nice parts of your state. And more importantly, don't let your state be utterly overrun by these maniacs, these suicidal lunatics who want to make your lives much worse. It takes away from your power in Congress. It takes away from your power in a direct democracy. And we can vote with our feet and vote with our cash. And the best way to do that would be to actually literally secede from these wretched places. New York should do the same thing, and Illinois should do the same thing. It's great. Like 95% of Illinois, this is the part of the country where I was raised, 95% of Illinois would vote to kick out Chicago in a heartbeat. Trust me. Mark my words. They don't give a damn about the Bulls or the Bears. They would be done with Chicago. They join Iowa in a heartbeat. So do it. This would be fun. These are fun experiments in democracy. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Should we create Greater Idaho? I think that'd be dope. I'd be the first one to visit. I'd be an ambassador. I'd be a free ambassador for Greater Idaho. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Let me know if you live in Idaho or in Oregon and if you want to see this happen. I am for a betterment of America. We love this place a lot. That's why we fight for it right alongside with you. My name's Benny Johnson. See ya. Thank you for watching. Our channel is here to meme the libs until they cry and then to meme them crying. Their tears, they taste just like sweet, delicious ice cream. Salty, too. We ridicule the establishment and the libs because of you. Your support keeps us going. So if you like what you saw, please punch the subscribe button, click like, and ring the little bell so that you know when we're live. Don't you want to know when we're live? And make sure that you subscribe to our email list just in case the plug gets pulled, as tends to happen. If you want to see more of our videos, click here or here. My name is Benny Johnson. Stay free, Base Patriots.